You may get an audio that tells you no shock indicated, continue CPR. Okay? Why would it do that? Okay, it could be one of two things, right? Either the heart, they've got a heartbeat, it's come back.
Stop CPR.
Okay.
Don't touch patient. Analyze.
So here we are in the analyze mode again. Okay. And when it goes into analyze mode, you're going to be going like, oh man, what's taking so long? It seems like it takes forever when it's analyzing. Okay.
No shock advised.
Okay. There's our no shock
CPR.
advised. We're starting CPR again. Okay. So if it tells you that, if it says, hey, no shock indicated this time, it could be one of two things. Either they've got a pulse, it's come back, okay, or the heart has gone into a rhythm that electricity won't fix, okay? So what does an AED shock? What it shocks is, I'm not going to get into this big cardiac lecture with you, okay, because you don't really need to know that, but it's ventricular fibrillation, which is a fancy word for the heart is basically quivering like a bunch of worms, okay? The electrical impulses that normally trigger your heart to beat correctly are misfiring, so they're firing all over the heart, okay? What the AED does and defibrillation does is it overrides all that and tries to reset the electrical system so it's back firing the right way, okay? It's because you have an electrical effect that occurs and you have a mechanical effect that occurs with the heart, right? So the electricity runs the heart and regulates it, and then you have that pump going as well, right? So when we're doing CPR, we're taking over the pump part, okay? But we can't take over the electrical part. That's what defibrillation is for, okay? So hopefully you defibrillate, it resets everything, you get a heartbeat, okay? They start coming back around, you're like, yes, awesome, okay? But what may occur is that there's no more electrical activity in the heart. So it won't allow you to shock a person because there's nothing for the electricity to override to make that happen. Make sense? You with me on that? Okay. That means, yeah, basically. But for us as first aid people or professionals, wherever you find yourself, since we're all, right, we're going to be first aid AED experts when we leave here today, and you're at work and that occurs, we don't worry about that, okay? It's going to give you the no shock indicated, so what are we going to do? Continue CPR, right? It'll prompt you right back into continuing CPR, okay? And you'll go through another cycle. 32, okay, 32, 30 and 2, 30 and 2, and then it'll reanalyze again. You may or may not get another defibrillation out of it, or it may tell you no shock indicated, continue CPR. So for us, as far as we're concerned, if we're getting a message that's telling us, the AED's telling us no shock indicated, all we do is continue doing our good CPR until 911 and the fire department gets there, right, and take over from you, okay? If I come to you and you've used your AED, right, and you guys are doing good CPR when I get there, I can't tell you how happy we are when we see that, okay? The statistics for people that get no early defibrillation and no CPR prior to our arrival, their survival rates drop dramatically, okay? So what I will ask you is, hey, did CPR start right away? We want to know that. So if it was what we call a witness arrest, where they've gone down and you guys were right there on top of them, start CPR right away, okay? And then I'll see the AED there, and I'll ask you, how many times did you shock them? Okay, we want to know that too. So try to remember that if you can. Hey, we did a full round of CPR. We defibrillated them. It shocked once, and then we got a no shock indicated message after that. So now I know, okay, they've been defibrillated 2-3 times. And sometimes people need multiple shocks, okay? Even after an AED use, we may shock them en route multiple times, okay, if it's indicated. And then we also have drug therapies we can throw in there on top of everything else, okay? So don't let that throw you if you use an AED and it's telling you, hey, no shock is indicated, and you have a bystander there going like, what are you doing? Why don't you shock them? Why don't you shock them? You can't, because they're not in a rhythm that'll let you do that, okay? That's just for you guys, so you guys know. If you knew nothing at all about AEDs at all, and you just were in a Walmart or somewhere, or you're in church and you run over and grab it and pull it out, you don't need to know all that. All you need to know is it'll tell you a shock or no shock, and I'm going to continue doing CPR, okay? Until somebody at a higher level of care comes and takes over for me, okay? So don't let that throw you. Don't think it's broke or it's not working properly, okay? You might get that message, but now you guys will know why, Okay, the heart's not in a rhythm that we can shock. Okay,